Hey Bobcats, this is Mr. Peterson. Again, this is lesson 6.2, and I'm going to start off on page 402. If I were you, I would work through the examples and then come along and do the got it's with me. So this lesson, this is got it A, by the way. This lesson is review. We know how to solve two-step equations, so we're just kind of working through these. So 3x plus 2, remember whenever you solve an equation, you work in the reverse order of operations. Oh, you can't see that. There it is. You work in the reverse order of operations, focus, and you always try to get x by itself, or the variable. So our first step here would be to subtract 2 from both sides. 20 take away 2 is 18, so 3x is equal to 18. Then we want to undo multiply by 3, so we divide by 3, divide both sides by 3, and you get x is equal to 6. And then we could check that by plugging back in. 3 times 6 is 18. 18 plus 2 is 20. All right, let's look at got it B. By the way, if in case I didn't say this, I forget, I'm on page 402. All right, so now we have 5 plus 2n equals negative 1. All right, so again, we want to get n by itself. First step, to subtract 5 from both sides. Negative 1, take 5 away, that would be negative 6. So 2n is equal to negative 6. So now we have to ask ourselves, how do we undo multiply by 2? Well, we undo multiply by 2 by divide by 2. So n would be equal to, by the way, this cancels and becomes 1s. N is equal to negative 6 divided 2 ways would be negative 3. Let's just check that. Plug back in here. 2 times negative 3, that would be negative 6. 5 plus negative 6 is negative 1. It checks out. All right, turning the page now to the got it's there. There's a got it E, F, and G. Oh, no, I got it C and D. Got it C is up next. Got it C is up next. All right, so these, they make them a little bit harder because they've got fractions. So the first one is negative 1 is equal to 1/2 A plus 9. Again, we want to solve it for A in this case, so we would take 9 away from both sides. A negative 1 take 9 away would be a negative 10 is equal to 1/2 times A. Now, the thing here is, how do I undo multiply by 1/2? Well, you would say I would divide by 1/2, and you're right. But the thing is, if you divide by 1/2, that's the same as multiplying by 2 because of keep, change, flip. So we're going to multiply both sides by 2, and there, those 2's and 1/2's all cancel out and just become A. So we get 2 times a negative 10, and that would be a negative 20. And we could check that, but for the sake of time, I'm not going to right now. The next one, we've got D, which is 2/5 times R, take away 5 is equal to 7. First step, add 5 to both sides. Add 5 to both sides. So now we have a 12 over here. And so 2/5 times R is equal to 12. All right, now we ask ourselves, how do we undo multiply by 2/5? Well, we divide by 2/5, which is the same as multiplying by the reciprocal. So we multiply by 5/2 on both sides of this problem. And here, again, they cancel and become 1s, giving you R is equal to, here you could write this, if it helps you, as a fraction, 12 over 1. The 2 and the 12 share a common factor of 2. 6 times 5 is 30. 1 times 1 is 1, so R equals 30. All right, now going down to the bottom of the page with got it E, F, and G. All right, got it E. We've got 10 take away 2/3 times P is equal to 52. All right, again, first step here, we want to undo this, this having 10 here. So there's kind of like an invisible plus sign there. So we want to take 10 away from both sides. So when we do that, we get negative 2/3 P is equal to 52. Take 10 away, that would be 42. All right, and now we need to undo multiplying by negative 2/3. And to do that, you guessed it, we need to multiply by negative 3/2. So we multiply both sides by negative 3/2. Here they cancel again, and we can rewrite this as 42 over 1 if that helps, and it does, because this becomes a 1 and this becomes a 21. 21 times a negative 3 would be a negative 63 is our solution there, negative 63. Okay, question F here is a negative 19 is equal to negative 3x plus 2. So first step, take 2 away from both sides. A negative 19, take 2 more away would be negative 21. And so that's equal to negative 3x. And then to undo multiply by negative 3, we would divide by negative 3 on both sides. So in this case, a negative 21 divided by a negative 3 would be a positive 7, and that's what x is equal to, positive 7. All right, one last one here, g, got it, g. We have a number a number divided by negative 3, take away 2 is equal to negative 18. All right, first step would be to add 2 to both sides. Add 2 to both sides. And when we do that, we have left over here, we have a number divided by negative 3, and that's equal to a negative 18 plus 2 more, that would be a negative 16. Now we ask ourselves, how do we undo dividing by negative 3? Well, we would multiply by negative 3 on both sides. And so when we do that, they cancel out there, and we get our n all by itself. And then negative 16 times a negative 3 would be a positive 48. All right, now the sub is going to tell you what problems to do. You guys take a look at those, and that's your homework. But I've got one more lesson, so let's watch that too.